sense to me how you can bring someone back from the dead.
It doesn't make sense. Talking about profitability here, buddy.
But what of the moral quandary or the question of the correct dosage?
Took me years of trial and error to figure that out.
No, man, I ate something earlier. It's making me feel deadly ill.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna puke, man.
Oh. This gives me a perfect golden opportunity to try out my serum. Been waiting all week to give this stuff a shot. Yeah, this is gonna happen. Straight to the spine. Wake up, I need you back. Who's coming? Oh. 20 minutes and still unresponsive. Come on, Miskatonic University, don't let me down.
Ah! Spoiler alert!
Clearly I need to get a bar to go across this. Oh man. I don't think that could have gone any better. Well, obviously there's room for improvement, but damn. Just brought a body back from the dead there. I guess now we'll talk about Re-Animator, where my inspiration came from. So the story follows Herbert West, who says he came from Sweden, got transferred to the Miskatonic University in Arkham, Massachusetts. The Miskatonic University is like the equivalent of Stephen King's Maine. It's just always there. It'll always be used. It always will be. It's consistent and reliable. Herbert West's character in this show is a real Frankenstein kind of mad scientist type guy who's trying to break the barrier between life and death.
It is taught.
Of course he's dead. The dosage was too large.
You killed him.
No, I did not. I gave him life.
Every good mad scientist tries to do that at some point in their career. You don't see how crazy this guy is right away. Everything about him that is nuts is quite subtle at first.
Dan, this is Herbert West. He'll be joining you in your third year. He was doing independent research in Switzerland with Dr. Gruber shortly before he died. Mr. West, this is Daniel Kane, one of Miskatonic Medical's best young hopes for the future of medicine.
What were you researching?
Death.
So, you really that becomes quite clear with Dan's cat, and the girlfriend initially finds this poor animal in Herbert's bedroom refrigerator.
What are you doing in my room?
When they confronted him about it, he acts like just a bystander, right? Like, I come home and find the cat with his head in a jar, totally suffocated. What am I supposed to do as a renter?
You couldn't call or write a note.
I was busy pushing bodies around, as you well know. And what would a note say, Dan? Cat dead. Details later.
Care for Chinese tonight? Anybody? Anybody at all care for Chinese? The landlord, Dan, he's not, as freaked out by this as his girlfriend is, but he quickly does become so when he finds Herbert being attacked by his dead cat down in the basement. Herbert had used his Re-Animator fluid, which I have a lovely facsimile of right here. Worked rather well, I believe. He convinces Dan to break into the morgue at the Miskatonic University And they had no trouble at all sneaking past this guard there. But they find a corpse in the morgue in a fairly good condition. Like it died from heart failure, I believe. And Herbert gets super excited.
Yes, I think you.
How long?
He arrived early this evening. John Doe apparently just dropped dead. No record of any damage. It's almost perfect.
Within, like 5 minutes or so, they got themselves a zombie who is 100% uncontrollable. And is a bigger character, obviously somebody who is physically strong in their lifetime. And just as the Dean, with his unfortunate timing, is walking towards the door, the zombie kicks the door out, landing on top of the Dean. The zombie just jumps on top of the door, obviously making his breakaway, whatever the zombie is thinking. I don't know if he was going to go home or what, but, obviously he kills the Dean, and Herbert sees an opportunity.
He'd probably been dead too long. It wasn't fresh enough. We'd probably only revived the senses and the instincts, so come on, help me get him.
Is he dead?
Of course. Will you give me a hand here?
Now he's rapidly getting a better handle on what his dosages should be, and he brings the Dean back. Poor guy is immediately hospitalized in a medical ward for the mentally insane, because he looks pale, he looks bloody, he's acting like he's got rabies, but he just doesn't recognize his own daughter, doesn't recognize his students. And the immediately, decision there is obviously to lobotomize him. Yeah, I would rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. This is obvious. Like, Dr. Hill, Herbert's teacher at that, med class, breaks into his basement laboratory, finds all his notes on his serum, and, he immediately realizes what it is. Herbert comes in, discovers Hill is there, checking out everything that he spent years and years working on, putting together, and Herbert tells him straight up, like, as if Herbert can do nothing about it at all. Dr. Hill blatantly tells him outright that he is going to steal his work and take credit for every bit of it.
Magnificent. Be famous.
After the deed was done, he was super nonchalant about it. The head was separated, and he put it on one of those spikes that you used to measure meat so the head would stay upright. And I was thinking to myself, another fun experiment. I can have, so excited. He's like a little kid with a new toy.
Parts. I've never done whole parts.
So he injects the brain and he injects the body separately, and his goal there is to see if he can get them to come to life as two separate entities, kind of thing. And obviously he pulls that off. But at this point, the whole zombieism kind of starts to differ from every other zombie movie that I've ever seen before, which I kind of liked. I appreciated that they went in a different direction. The Dr. Hill, he telepathically tries to get his body to continue to kill Herbert. Knocks him out, gets his body to pick up his head, gets his back, not onto his neck, but puts it in a bowling bag, if I recall correctly, and puts a mannequin's head on top of his body. He kidnaps the Dean's daughter, who is Igor's love interest in this particular film. Obviously, This creates a, save the damsel in distress kind of thing. Every good movie's got to have that. And then he heads for the morgue. Stop! Stop, you zombie whore! Sorry about that, everybody. Zombie taken care of for the time being. Now, you'll see Dr. Hill. So you won't see him do it. But he steals all of Herbert's serum and injects every single zombie that's in the morgue with it. He's got a hive mind going with all these zombies. He became like the king bee of the zombies, just controlling all his little drones. Herbert, Doc, and Dan, the / Igor, get to the morgue at the Miskatonic University. They spend a few minutes trying to talk Dr. Hill down. Well, he's got this poor damsel in distress, naked, strapped to a table.
I'm very disappointed in you. You steal the secret of life and death, and here you are, trysting with the bubble-headed co-ed. You're not even a second-rate scientist.
So that happens.
No! I told you I have a theory! Overdose! No!
The guy's chest, literally explodes. The problem with that is now they have multiple enemies in the form of intestines trying to grapple them, which is, not super bloody, but it was super gross. The revelation that Herbert West got out of that is not only does his serum bring people back from the dead, it makes every part of you alive and, possibly independent of its body. As Dr. Hill is using his King Bee powers with his hive mind, every other corpse in that morgue wakes up. The last you see of Herbert, the genius mad scientist that he is, he's being just piled on by all these zombies from the morgue. Dan manages to free his lady love. She's screaming in terror, still naked. She runs for the elevator down the hall. You got zombies running after her. He's running after the zombies. And she's being strangled by one of these zombies. He freaks out a little bit. He's headed straight for some fire equipment that, breaks the glass, grabs the fire axe, runs straight back like he's an Olympic sprinter or some damn thing. Manages to chop off the zombie's hand, just above the wrist there. Unfortunately, the hand is, working independently of the body somehow in this reality, and continues to throttle this poor girl. Couldn't save her, despite managing to kill the zombie with a vicious chop to the head. But at the end of the movie, there is a little bit of the serum left, and even though you don't see her come back, it is heavily implied. Damn! Where did I leave my fart? If you'll excuse me, I have my own zombie to take care of. Oh man, dealing with zombies is a lot bloody tougher than it looks on TV. I guess after that harrowing escapade, I should give my review on the Re-Animator. It was a cheesy 80s movie with cheesy special effects that were actually surprisingly well done for its time. Stuart Gordon, the guy that directed this, super distinctive. Appreciate that. Jeffrey Combs played Herbert West in this movie, and I definitely got to give him props for his acting. Some people would look at it as a sad love story. Some people would look at this as a comedy. It wasn't super horrific. Definitely a noir horror or noir comedy / horror. It it had its funny points and it's had its terrific points. You know, H.P. Lovecraft gave it a very unique kind of flair. If you're into a racist version of it, read the book. The difference between the movie and the book is not huge, but in the book he is blonde, racist, and that's pretty much it. It's just a much more racist version. For this particular movie, you know, for what it's supposed to be, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. And that's it for this time.